You currently locked in to season 3 of the Porch podcast. It's your boy, B. Jones, aka Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch. I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Big Smitty, aka D Nice. And you heard what Bolo just said. This is the porch. Welcome.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated.
Run it up.
Sir. Yes, sir. We back again. How you feeling?
Blessed, highly favored.
Come on
Hey,
now.
I'm going to just let you know that, hey, them LC Bears got that dub this weekend.
Y'all got another dub?
Got another dub, bro.
Dang.
Got another dub, bro. Hey, we just keep trucking, bro. We trucking, bro. We're trying to get better, bro. That's it. That's it. You know I had to come on there and say that. My other Bears didn't win, but my LC Bears won, so we all took a good start, bro.
I'm off to a pretty bad start. You know, everybody that I'm rooting for right now is losing. Dub C lost against our rivals. BD, very tough loss. From what I saw and heard, it was like a good game though for a while. And Ben Davis, you know, second half took care of business. Dub C lost, and then my coach, bro. And we're gonna get to that here in a second, bro. But the coach is got me pissed off. I'm trying to hold it in right now. I'm trying to stay calm and cool, but against the Jags. Before we continue, we got to pay these bills, Bolo. So we got to shout out one of our sponsors, man, Bet Online. Bet Online, for those who don't know, is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite teams, your contests, events, and much, much more. I'm talking about the MLB, the NFL, the NBA, NHL, all the sports, man. You can find reviews and news on every single league. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. So make sure you head on over to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Got a goose egg, Bolo. They scored no points.
Goose egg. But just imagine how the Jaguars feeling right now, knowing that they put up a shutout. Yeah, that's hard to do in the league. We talking about the NFL. You put up a shutout.
In an offensive-driven league. And, bro, and there's a stat, too. I don't remember the specifics, but I know the last time that the Colts got shut out, I think it was against the Jags. For some reason, bro, the Jags have our number. The last 7 times we played them in Jacksonville, they beat us.
It's been ugly. Yeah.
It's been ugly. They're the reason we didn't make the playoffs last year.
Last year, I remember watching that game, and somehow the Jags snuck and took that game away.
Bro, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just playing. I know it's hot in Jacksonville. It's humid. I don't know what it is, but my coach is looking pathetic right now. They're 0-1-1, bro.
Hey,
0-1-1.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Keep it real with me.
Matty Ice. All right. When you get to that type of age, you get to that point, you got to learn how to just throw the ball in the pocket. Like, you got to be a very, very precise thrower. I'm talking about like a Tom Brady when you get to that age, because this league now is built around people who can move in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? You think about all the quarterbacks from the Buffalo Bills to
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray.
All those guys, they can move in the pocket, and that's what the league is surrounded around. But if you a precise thrower like Tom Brady, you can sit in the pocket and still be successful. But I just don't really see Matty Ice getting to that point where he can really sit in the pocket and just let it ride.
See, I disagree with you, man. Listen, I know Matty Ice, his stats was horrible. He had 195, 3 interceptions, no touchdown. I mean, it looks horrible. And it's all going to go, like, from a stat standpoint, it's all going to go on Matt Ryan. But when you watch the games, bro, our wide receivers ain't getting no space. Huh?
Then they dropped. I remember the first game.
Dropping balls.
They dropped a couple passes.
They're dropping passes. They're not getting any separation. It's like Matt Ryan's having to force it just because, like, he ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some bad throws that he's doing and some bad decisions, but a lot of it, bro, just receivers just, like you said, dropping passes, not getting open, not creating any space. Now, granted, our number one option, Michael Pittman Jr., was out last game. He was questionable all week, and when game time came, he ended up not playing. But still, man, somebody else has to step up. You know, our rookie, was it Alec Pierce? I think he had a concussion, so he was out as well. So maybe, just maybe, this week they'll both play and they'll bring some type of juice and energy. But right now, bro, the Colts look like the worst team in the league right now.
Hey, keep in mind, Porch family, they got the Chiefs this weekend.
Yes, they got the Chiefs. And you know what? The Chiefs gonna come to the crib, come to nap. They watch the feeling like, man, these dudes trash. They're gonna come in with that mindset. This is gonna be an easy game.
Here we go.
My hope and my prayer is that Michael Pittman Jr. is gonna be healthy. Alec Pierce is gonna be healthy. Shaq Leonard's gonna make his homecoming NFL 2022-2023 season debut. The leader, the maniac.
That's too
at home. Indy fans going crazy, drunk, turning up for this team, and we gonna upset the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, because look, all I'm gonna say is you're not gonna stop Pat Mahomes from scoring. So Matty Ice better get his motherfucking shit together and be able to compete with that offense.
I don't care how great you are, bro. A good pass rush, a slow down any quarterback.
It will, absolutely, but he's still gonna get his. So just put up a goose egg. I mean, they better put some points on the board.
Hey, you know, each week is his own entity, Bolo. You know that.
It is.
Come on now.
Off of consistent shit that I be seeing. I don't know.
We gonna see, man. And the only positive thing right now, I'm gonna leave it with this, is that the AFC South is trash.
Yeah.
So true. we still like, I think, tied for second place right now. I think the Jags is 1-1 at the number 1 spot. Colts and the Texans are 0-1-1, and then the Titans 0-2. So right now we're still tied for second place, and we still have a very great chance of winning the AFC South and making it to the playoffs. So it's still early. Colts, I still believe, but you better figure this shit out because I'm getting pissed.
Y'all better, because
it starts this weekend.
1-2 in the NFL, bro. It's hard to come out of a hole like that. It means you got to win at least 3 games straight in the NFL to at least be over 500. So that's a tall task. So they better win this weekend.
Man, let's talk about enough of my coach. Let's talk about your Bears, who took a big L, big strong L.
But
didn't even throw
in my
10
defense,
pass attempts. I don't think all game.
In my defense, I told you that though. I wasn't completely confident that we were gonna take that game. It's Aaron Rodgers. At the end of the day, I don't care what his week 1 looked like. He came out there and did what he had to do. The running game was crazy. That's one thing we had to focus on, stopping the run. And I feel like with Dylan and is it Jones?
Yeah, Aaron Jones, beast.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Yeah, Dylan and Jones back there. I mean, that 1-2 punch, that was toting the rock. So, that's like some old school football that I don't think a lot of people used to as far as that pound attack. And then you got Aaron Rodgers throwing the rock. I mean, and then obviously we got a young offense, y'all. So, we had a good first half. The first half was pretty solid. Towards the, late second quarter, that's when they got away from us. But we gotta keep figuring out ways to put Justin Fields in positions to make plays. I feel like sometimes offense line is shaky, or sometimes the play calling is shaky, where we are in bad situations where, we're putting these bad points to, throw the ball away or turn the ball over or, not be productive. So we'll see, man.
No, I definitely got to open up that playbook for Justin Fields. Like I don't know. Maybe they know something that we don't know, and they just really don't trust him. But at the end of the day, this is who you this is who you drafted. So you have to at least give him a chance.
Give him a chance.
And if he throws 7 picks or something crazy, hey, well, at least you know. But going out there, and I think he threw less than 10 pass attempts. That's not gonna do it. So they got to figure it out. And before we transition and bring in our guest, who's actually in the waiting room right now, I did want to leave with this. What's your reaction to Justin Fields, post game press conference? He made a comment something along the lines of us in the locker room, talking about the players, the coaches, the staff. They feel worse about the loss against Green Bay than the Bears, than the fans do. Excuse me. Basically saying we're the ones out there putting in the work, watching the film on the field. We feel worse than the fans do. As a longtime Chicago Bears fan, what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, so make it short and sweet. Like as a former player, obviously, and then as a fan, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think it's something that in Justin Fields' mind that you can think, but you just can't say. Like if you say something like that, it just comes off in a different way. Like we understand that you put in the work. We understand that like you're dedicating your time, your body, you're sacrificing a lot of stuff. And, you actually went out there, played the game and lost the game. So it's going to hit different regardless because you're like physically involved. But the Chicago, Bears and the fan base, it runs so deep. And then playing against the Green Bay Packers, seeing that long run as far as that rivalry goes, it just hits a little bit different. So, a lot of fans who, really are, ingrained into, this organization would definitely take it the wrong way by you saying that it's not important to them, because it definitely is. Because somebody said it, like, when Justin Fields is long gone, even way before Justin Fields, them fans were those fans, and they wanted to beat the shit out of the Green Bay Packers. And that's how it is. And 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now, it's still going to be that way. So to that point, you got to get a fan some respect, though.
Well, you heard it right there, man. I have nothing to add, man. Bolo Benz, the Chicago Bear fanatic.
Yeah.
Right now, man, we're going to switch gears from sports to one of my favorite topics called food. We have a big time guest coming up right here, and she's been patiently waiting in the waiting room. So I'm about to bring her in, y'all. All right, guys. So without further ado, our special guest is in the building. She's a LA-based food vlogger, background in fashion, born and raised in San Diego, the one and only Dandy Eats. Welcome to the Porch.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Yes. First of all, how are you doing so far? I mean, how's your week been going?
I'm doing good. The week's been good, busy, but had to make time for this.
Yes.
Love it. So we got to ask you, what'd you eat today?
He got straight to it.
Hey, let's see. I had some cookies from the last crumb, and then my boyfriend made this Filipino dish called laing, which is like stewed. Dang it, I forgot the type of leaves, but it's like these leaves in coconut milk.
Dang. See, I'm already learning new stuff. I feel like I eat the same stuff, bro.
I've never had a Filipino meal, so we're gonna definitely have to, before you leave here today, we're gonna dive deep into a couple Filipino dishes that you feel like we have to try.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
love it.
No, we definitely love it, man. And so let's dive straight into your story, your background, man, which I think is very interesting. First of all, every time I see you online, I've been following you on IG for a while now. I moved out to LA almost 5 years ago now. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. So when I came out here, I'm always thinking about where to go, things to do. And one thing that I absolutely love is food. So I don't know how I came across your page, but I came across it and I saw all this amazing food and traveling around. So you kind of drew me in. And one thing that I noticed about you is every time I see you, you always have a smile on your face. It's always positive energy. So I'm going to start off asking you, where does that positive mindset and just that joy, like, where does that come from?
Well, I think it's because I was diagnosed with cancer at a really young age. I was only 10 years old when I was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, which is a super rare form of cancer. And, I beat it. And obviously, because I'm here, right? And then so I spent my summers until I was 18 at this cancer camp. So it was like this special summer camp for kids who have or have not had or have had cancer. And so, I met a lot of people who had cancer. Some people made it, some people didn't. And I just think, from a young age, I knew that you had to like live life to the fullest. And just got to be happy. And, I lost a lot of friends when I was young and feel like, I just need to like live my life for them, because I've met, kids who like died when they were like, 11 years old, and they hardly like lived. So I feel like I need to live for them.
Oh man, now that's deep. That's a powerful story, Bolo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So at that, I guess at that point for you, I guess what kind of turned like that, that energy that energy that you were going towards to food.
Yeah, so it's funny that you bring that up because I have a younger brother, but he is like not like me at all. He loves like American food. Will eat, cheeseburgers, loves Mexican food, eats at the same Mexican shop like, every week.
El Cholo? El Cholo?
No, it's La Lamita in San Diego.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I was like asking my mom because, for me, I eat like everything. I'm super adventurous. I'll literally eat anything. And I was like talking to my mom. I was like, how is it that I am the foodie and I'll eat everything in sight, and my brother is like so picky? You know what I mean? Because we
That's
lived in
crazy.
the same house, right?
Uh-huh.
Auntie like made us Filipino food all the time, and like yeah, he would eat it. But now that he's older, it's not like he goes super out of the way
Right, right.
Right,
Filipino
right.
food, right?
Yeah.
So with that, I'm not really sure. Like maybe it was just maybe it is from like having cancer, right? Because I don't want to like miss out on anything. Like I want to just experience it all, like eat it all, taste it all. And I guess I don't know, I'm just not a picky eater and
Yeah.
always want to try like new things.
Got you. Now that makes
Now
sense.
that's-
No, yeah, jump in, Bolo.
No, I was gonna say, Darn, I know you were telling me that story. I think you read about the Doritos in the hospital.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You said
Right.
I read that Doritos saved your life. Can you kind of
Yeah.
explain that to the Porch fans?
Yeah. So it was like towards the end of my chemotherapy treatments and I wasn't doing well. Probably was going to die if nothing, was gonna work out. And it was the Super Bowl. And I was only like 10 years old. Well, at this point I was 11 now. And I never really watched the Super Bowl. And the nurses were like, oh, you just eat all these snacks and like watch the TV and like these commercials and whatnot, and when you're going through chemotherapy, I mean, I don't know, it might be different now. This was like 20 years ago, right?
Right.
But like I couldn't eat anything, like one bite of anything, I would just throw it all up, and so I'd watch the Super Bowl and I would just like nibble on these chips, like just like just like
Right,
a little
small little bite just to get a little something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't eat like the whole thing or I would throw it up. So yeah, I would just like nibble on these chips, and I don't know, after that, like my blood work came in and it was getting better. I was supposed to get a bone marrow transplant, but they couldn't find a match for me. So that would have been bad too, because then it's like, okay, chemotherapy is not working. We can't find a bone marrow donor for her. And I don't know, I just like to think that, with the little amount of chips that I was eating that day, and that helped fuel my body to fight the cancer. I don't know, I can't make claims like that, but I like to think that I was fueling my body, even if it was just Doritos chips, and it helped.
Man,
so, I don't know.
That's an amazing story, man. Shout out to Nacho Cheese Doritos. If you listen in right now, man, sponsor Dandy. You know what I mean? She could be your brand ambassador. I mean, there's not Doritos saved my life. There's no better.
Saved my life.
That's the commercial right there. Doritos saved my life. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a dope story here. So how would you describe your relationship with food? Like me, like I truly, food is my best friend. Like I love food. If I'm in a bad mood, food makes me better. I feel I'm happier. I find a reason always to bring food into whatever I'm doing. How would you describe your relationship with food?
I guess pretty healthy.
Okay.
Like I'm not really like a binge eater. Like if I'm super stressed or anything, like, I'm not like stress eating or anything like that. And I know on my Instagram, it looks like I'm eating all kinds of crazy stuff every day. But in reality, I live quite the balanced food life. So during the week, I will meal prep, I'll eat more healthy. And then, on the weekends and sometimes like, weeknight dinners, I'll go all out. But yeah, I would like to say that my relationship with food is pretty healthy. Yeah, Instagram's a lie.
You heard it here first, y'all. Don't trust Instagram.
Yeah, so I think like over the years, like when I first started taking food blogging seriously in like 2016, like I said yes to every opportunity. I was eating everything. I probably did gain some weight. But now I feel like my relationship with food is a lot more healthy. Like, I'll go to restaurants and they give me tons of food and, I do eat everything, not on that day, but, I always take home leftovers because I don't like wasting food at all. And I'll eat it like throughout the week, so I'm really good at like portion control and all of that. But yeah, I don't know if that was a good answer, but.
No, it was a great answer.
That's a real answer, I think. you
Yeah.
know, Instagram has this way of telling a story that people want to live through as well. So, they see you eating all these crazy foods and it's like maybe video after video, they'll just go ahead and assume that it's like a day-to-day thing and that they can mimic the same process. But so I'm glad to know that like you meal prep, portion control too, just
Mhm.
because it definitely makes sense in order to stay balanced. Because I know
Yes,
I
'cause
have a trouble of going day to day with
yeah, I would
bad.
be like 500 pounds if I like did not control myself. If I
Right.
literally eat everything. I can't be those competitive eaters that just,
Ooh.
eat like a 20-pound bowl of pho or something.
I don't know how they do it. Have you ever done a food competition at any point?
Um, not really. I mean, I've done like, little spicy challenges and whatnot, which
Right.
is like, I don't know, I don't really do food competitions. Like I don't eat for, mass or
Right,
like large
right.
sizes or anything
Mhm.
like that. Because I like to enjoy my food. So I'm a pretty slow eater actually. And maybe a slow drinker. Like I'll have one boba drink for the entire day.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Or I'll have like one cup of coffee. But yeah, I can't eat like just massive amounts of food. I'm like a slow eater. I like to enjoy my food, take my time.
Okay, I respect that. I'm a fast eater, Bolo. I'm not gonna lie. I eat
Bro,
fast, but I also enjoy it.
used to eat, look, he used to eat 2 Chipotle burritos.
In one
Like
sitting?
in one sitting. Like if that
Wow.
make your chest hurt, like that's how he used to get down.
That was back in the days. I've grown since then. I'm down to one burrito now.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I know. It's like when you're younger, I feel like you can just eat more. Like in high school, I feel like I would eat an entire Subway sandwich.
Foot long, tear it up. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
damn near still
foot long.
tearing up one of them just
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm still eating the foot long.
Oh my gosh. I've been craving Subway actually. Like
that
I haven't
sound
had
fire
it in
though
a
for
long
real.
time.
I haven't
Right?
me
Yeah.
either. That might be my dinner after this podcast here. So
Yeah.
explain to me. So what got you into actual food vlogging? So like obviously, you grew up, you've always loved food, being in a Filipino family. I know that, you guys have such a great culture when it comes to food and things like that. But what led you in 2016 to start vlogging?
So it was kind of like a gradual, natural thing. So Instagram came about, bleh, I can't talk. Instagram came out in 2010, 2011. And I was
Mhm.
actually one of the last of my friends to kind of hop on it. And this was like way back in the day when Instagram was like blue. Remember, like before it was
Yeah.
rainbow, and there was like no DMs, right? Everyone was using the filters and the borders.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would just take pictures of my food, and there was like food bloggers out there, but they weren't like how it is today, right?
Right.
But I wasn't doing it for like, oh, for the free food or whatever. I was just posting about it. And then at that time I had like moved away to San Francisco for college. And that was, a big culture shock from SoCal, it's so
Right.
different and all kinds of new food, right? So, I was just like trying out new restaurants and posting about it. And over the years, I started to gain like a following a little bit, but it wasn't like, anything crazy.
Right.
Then in 2016, the ice cream brand Halo Top reached out to me. They're like, oh, we want to send you, free ice cream. And I was like, what? This is crazy. So then from there, it just kind of like took off, like
Wow.
restaurants started reaching out to me and inviting me over to try out their food. And it just kind of like snowballed from there. So, and then,
That's
I started
amazing.
taking it more seriously. I was like, okay, let me take better pictures. Because before I just like, snap the picture, whatever, post it. With like,
Right.
whatever shitty caption that didn't really describe the food.
Yeah.
Like maybe like, oh, I had a good burrito today or whatever.
Right.
But I started thinking about like how my photos looked and what my captions were like. And I started researching like hashtags and whatever, and started following more like food bloggers and whatnot. And, then from there it just kind of like took off. And I don't know, it just and then
Blew
now
up.
I'm here. And then now I'm here. Yeah,
That's
so it just
amazing.
kind of came about in a natural way. Like, nowadays, like everyone's like, I want to be a food influencer, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And some people have their own like little niche You know, like there's bloggers that just only do like gluten-free food or like vegan food or only LA. You know what I mean? But
Right.
for me, since I've been blogging about everything for like, I don't know, 10 years, over 10 years. Whoa. I don't know. I just, and like I said, I like to try everything, right? I want to live life. I want to do it all. So
Yeah.
Love
basically,
that.
I got a clothing brand called Live for Today. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I'm right there. Come on now. I'm right there
Oh,
with you.
yeah.
I might send you some gear.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
For today.
Now I got a question for you. So when you do the vlogging, right, is there like research involved? Like when like restaurants hit you up, what if like the spot is nasty? Like how would you like combat that issue if like somebody's wanting you to come eat at their spot and like the food is nasty? Like has there ever been a situation where the food is just bad?
Not a lot, actually. I mean, there's some places that like the food was like all right, but also like taste is a lot of like personal preference. So even though I might not like it, someone else might. So usually like I will focus on something that I did like, because usually
It's
they're
fire.
well,
Okay.
because I'm, like I said, I'm not super picky. But yeah, I never really had anything that was super bad. And like I probably can't remember any because I usually don't really focus too much on that. But there's been times where I told the restaurant, like, oh, I didn't really like your food, or maybe it wasn't cooked properly, or constructive feedback. And they usually like that, because like other people are like, oh, that's so good. But I also like to help out businesses and let them know, like, oh yeah, that was kind of weird.
Right. Do
Yeah.
better next
I
time.
was always curious how that worked, because so many people try so many different types of food and things like that too. So I know sometimes just being curious, kind of helps along the way as far as vlogging and too, and just showing people things that people usually don't eat. Can sometimes be I'm gonna try this, but it may not be the greatest. But turns out it sounds like it typically is. So that's what's up.
Yeah, it usually is. And I feel like I have like this weird ability to find really great spots off of Yelp. So Yelp is like a weird place, right? And I don't really try to read the reviews too much, because they can be like biased or whatever. Like Karen's complaining about stuff that was not worth complaining over.
Right.
But for some reason I have like this ability to find a business on Yelp, and just by judging like some of the photos, and I could just, I don't know, I can't describe it. Like recently we were going to San Diego, and my boyfriend wanted cabeza tacos. And I was like, oh, I don't really know where to get that in San Diego except for like Tacos El Gordo. But that's a super popular spot. We've been there like a million times, and I like to try new things, especially since I'm not home that often, and I feel like I'm eating the same stuff that I ate, well, since I was growing up there.
Right.
So I found this spot called De Cabeza, and I don't know, I just kind of looked at the menu, and I kind of looked at some of the photos, and I was like, oh, let's just go here. And it ended up being amazing. Like the chef, the owner, was like really cool, and he was like hyping us up on this like soup that he had, which we ended up going there later in the week. But we initially had the tacos, which were really good, and then we had everything else. And that has happened like a few times where I just kind of randomly find a spot on Yelp, and I'm like, let's go here.
So what you're saying is, if I'm in San Diego or I'm in the Bay Area, wherever I'm at, if I randomly need a suggestion of somewhere to eat, I should reach out to Dandy, and she'll be able to point me in the right direction.
Yes. Yeah. So weird. I'm just like, I think it's a superpower or something.
Yes, the food superpower. I love it.
I eat the same thing. Like I get so frustrated. Like the biggest arguments I get into with my wife is usually like, what we eating tonight? And she's like, I don't know what you think. I'm like, I don't know what you think. And then we go back and forth for about an hour, and then we end up eating the same thing over and over again.
It never fails. I'm the same way.
I'm open to suggestions of how I can step outside the box to eat different things. Like I'm tired of just, chicken, burger, pizza. I want to try some different food. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yes, definitely. I can help you with that.
She said, I got you covered. Nah, I love that. So one thing I do want to dive into a little bit is the business side of vlogging. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, in regards to restaurants reaching out to you in order to, promote their food. How does that work? So do they pay you with food, or do they actually fund you sometimes? It's a combination of both. I guess How does that work?
So it's a mix of things. So it could be, sometimes it is just free food. And sometimes they do pay you. And it really kind of depends on the business. And I do work with a lot of mom and pop shops and smaller businesses. So sometimes, I will do it for free or for food.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I do
Yeah,
a lot for food.
Yeah, if McDonald's is in my DM, so I'm like, oh, I know you guys are funny.
Right.
Now you eat, you said you're not a picky eater, like you eat a lot of different food. Like, is there anything that's like completely off limits, like you will not eat, like you do not like?
I don't really like liver. So I like pate, but I think it's because it's mixed with, olive oil or other, spices, herbs or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just really don't like liver. Like it just, the second it like is in my mouth, I just want to throw up.
Yeah, I've never had liver, but it doesn't sound appetizing.
I don't think I've ever had liver either.
Yeah, I think it's like the texture and the taste.
Is it like slimy kind of?
Not really slimy. It's just I don't really know how to explain the texture, but it's just like
nasty.
Like the second it's in my mouth, I was like, I don't like it. But in pate, liver pate, when it's mixed with all the stuff, with some bread, that's good. But just like
kind of distracts you.
Yeah, like mix some other stuff on it and mask the taste. But yeah, I don't really like liver that well.
Right.
Now I got a question for you as far as being like a food blogger and obviously being in that food capacity. Do you like take different ideas from chefs and like try to cook it yourself, or like are you pretty much more so in tune with like going out and eating different types of meals?
Yeah, so I do get inspired from other chefs a lot. I don't go out to eat like every day, and sometimes I like to just try to make things at home, especially now that like the cost of going out to eat has gone up. And
especially out here.
Right in LA, I'm just like, wow, $7 for a coffee.
It's crazy.
I was like, I remember back in the day for like happy hour, a cocktail would be like $5 to $7.
Right.
And now a coffee is $7.
not to mention the gas to even get to the coffee. Oh,
I know, right? Exactly. So great, I forgot where we left off.
That happens on the porch a lot.
The chefs. Yeah. So I do get inspired by different chefs, and I like to challenge myself by cooking at home and trying to see like what I can make at home. And sometimes it's similar, like especially during the pandemic, I felt like that I was able to find my groove in cooking again, because, before the pandemic, and I feel like this is a lot of people, but, my life was just so busy. I was hardly home. Right. But during the pandemic, life slowed down a lot, and just started cooking again. I bought like all the freaking appliances, an air fryer, a freaking waffle maker, like everything. And so I was cooking like all day. And since all the restaurants were closed and I was craving all kinds of food, and I was like, you know what, let's try to make it. So
now be honest with me. Be honest with the Porch fans, Dandy. Can you cook? Are you a good cook? Be honest.
Yes, I like to say I'm a good cook. My boyfriend thinks so.
That's all that matters. Let me ask
him right now on this point. Hey, boyfriend, can she cook?
Yeah.
That is funny.
I love it. So let me ask you this. So long term, right? Do you have any, I guess, bigger plans that you see? Like, you want to take this to maybe like a show one day, maybe? Like, could you see yourself having your own TV show or digital actual series or show where you're the host, or do you see yourself kind of continuing to do the vlogging the way you've been doing it?
Yeah. So yeah, having my own show would be great. I haven't thought about it like that before. I'm like, ooh, am I good enough to be like this TV personality?
I think you could be.
Right. So right now, I'm one of those rare people who enjoy their day job. So right now, it's just kind of like a part-time fun thing. If it grows into something so huge, I don't know if like Food Network is like, we want to give you your own show, or like something crazy. Yeah, of course I'll drop my day job and be like, yes, like that's a rare opportunity.
Right.
But like right now, I really like my day job, and want to see where that takes me.
Of course.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, if it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. And I think we should normalize enjoying our 9 to 5, because I feel like everyone's just like, oh, gotta be an entrepreneur, gotta be a CEO, gotta do this,
Real.
like gotta do food blogging like full time and all that. Like, I just want to make money from Instagram, blah, 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 blah. But I think we should normalize that, like, it's okay to have a 9 to 5. Like, it's okay to not be your own boss, you know?
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at Danny. Danny dropping gems right now, Bolo.
Easy.
Come on now. She
Easy.
do more than just food. She giving you real knowledge. So no, that's a good point. That's a really good point. So
Yeah.
I'm always like, I work in the media, mostly sports, entertainment side. So I'm always thinking about, how can we make this into a TV show? How can we do that? So that's always where my brain naturally goes. So you never know. You never know. Like you see, you don't know what blessings you might get and where things will go. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't know that this was gonna be like a whole thing, like this blog. Like, I never thought that I would be able to eat at all these cool restaurants for free and work with different brands. And I've been flown out to a few cities, and that was like, oh,
really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is weird. Me?
No, they paying for
Yeah,
flights,
so-
Bolo.
That's wow.
If
Yeah,
you ever need a friend or friends to fly with you to try some food, I mean, I'm not, I'm just throwing that out there. No,
Yeah.
I love it. So, well, let's transition here, Bolo. So one thing that we do on all of our shows is we have our kind of random question of the day. Now we typically, this is something that we used to do before we brought our guest on, and I think last episode, me and Bolo were thinking, you know what, let's have our guests dive into this as well. So, I know Bolo, you had a great question lined up. You want to kind of introduce that to her and go from there?
Yes. So talking about Instagram, right? Let's just put yourself in the scenario of like a relationship, like not yours specifically, but let's just think about just like one, just kind of in general, right? So there's this big thing about like men liking women's pictures, right? Is that something that is okay for you? Like, do you look into like your significant other, not yours specifically, but in just kind of generality, would you look into like your significant other's likes as far as pictures? Does that mean something to you, or is that something that you just kind of really don't even think about?
I don't really think about it. I think Instagram hid your likes, so I'm not even sure if I could see what he's like in his face.
That's a very good point.
But I mean, and also, well, it's not on everyone's account, but on mine, I can't really see like counts,
Yeah.
But sometimes when you see a post, you'll see like, oh, so-and-so also like this.
Right, like one of your friends that you follow. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really think about it too much. But I guess it depends on like what they're liking, Are they like liking like some ass photos or like some Trump posts? Like
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, is that, how do you feel? How would you feel about that? Because it could just be like just a picture, right? It could just be something as harmless as a picture, but will you feel some type of way though if it's like something that you always see? That's what I mean.
Be something that I always see.
So say if like he keeps liking these pictures of these girls with these big booties and just kind of all in like bikinis all the time and stuff like that, is that something that will get a reaction out of you, or is that cool because it's just Instagram?
Yeah, well, I mean, it would like bother me like a little bit, I feel like all girls have like this level of like body dysmorphia and stuff. So I would feel, honestly, I'm not gonna front or whatever. I would feel
real,
like,
the porch. Yeah,
I would feel like a little like, self-conscious, because, well, especially with like Instagram and also living in LA, like there's a lot of, BBLs and whatnot, and a lot of plastic, which is, that's fine. But I would feel uncomfortable if you liked a ton of like, BBL bikini posts, because it's like, oh, well, I don't really look like that. So,
right. So now you're naturally like comparing yourself to what they're liking. So
yeah, I'm just like, well, why is he looking at that for? And also, I guess it depends. Like, is it like a thirst trap? Because what if he has friends that? What if it's just like a selfie or, like an artistic kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
context matters. Context matters.
Yeah,
Like, just because they're in a bikini doesn't
like,
mean it's necessarily trying to be sexy. It could just be, I'm just at a
it could be she's like at the beach in like the Philippines or something on vacation, right?
Right.
You know, but if it's like, you know, like if it's like a thirst trap photo, you know what I mean? I'll be like, what are you looking at that for? I mean, you know, on TikTok, right? There's this one guy that I like his videos, and it's because he has a fat ass. And so I'm like, well, let me follow this guy because
Hold on, rewind.
like that.
You said, hold on, you said there's a guy on TikTok that you like because he has a fat ass. Did I hear you correctly?
Because I want my butt to look like that. And then, you know, I showed it to my boyfriend so he doesn't think I'm like weird. And then he was like, oh my God.
And your boyfriend's probably like, I ain't got a fat ass. Why you looking at that? Why you looking at somebody else's like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I told him, I was like, I follow this guy so I can like copy his workouts.
Wow.
You know,
That's
so I
crazy.
mean, I'm not liking his stuff because it's like a thirst trap. It's like, you know, educational because he's like showing us like all these workouts that he does. And it's like wild. I'm just like, how is his butt like that? It's like a bubble butt. It's crazy.
I feel like our generation is so like, it's tough for our generation, right? Like you think about like our parents and obviously like our grandparents, stuff like that. They didn't have social media. So like the only way they could see other people was in real life, going to the grocery store, going to church. But with us, we have access to the entire world.
Yeah.
And even if you're in a relationship, I mean, let's be real, we're all human. Your eyes still work. You scroll, you see people, you see stuff that you're like, man, like this person is attractive. It doesn't mean you're going to DM them and shoot your shot or anything like that. But it's like, nah, this person looks good. Like, and you might like the picture. It's been time I've liked pictures, and it's just because, I mean, good looking picture. I'm not trying to date them or get in a relationship with them or anything. Just like sometimes you gotta just be real. It is what it is. And I'm sure my wife likes other guys' pictures sometimes. It's just, I don't know. I'm just about finding that balance. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
It's also about the context. Like it matters. I think
Also the
context.
context.
Like, what are you liking?
Yeah. And then I think one reason why I would feel self-conscious about it is because me and my boyfriend were Instagram friends for a long time. And so whose pictures was he liking? It was mine.
Right.
Oh, I see. Oh, hold on.
I was like, what are you looking at girl's photo for? What, you have another Instagram crush?
Right. Because he kind of got Dandy through liking her pic. Like that was the introduction.
That's why the like damn near probably means something. What you thinking?
Yeah, I was like, why are you looking at that? But yeah, no, he doesn't though. But I'm just saying, like, if it were to happen, I'll be like, well, how come you're liking her? How come, you know?
Right. That's funny. Look, after the podcast, Danny can be like, hey, can I see your phone real quick? Just trying to check something out. We're not trying to get you in trouble, my guy. We're just having a general conversation.
Yeah. So it all really depends, you know, like the context and stuff. And I know some people are probably like more confident with themselves and maybe like their relationship and all, but yeah. Well, now
we
you
all
know.
human.
We all human. We all got insecurity, so ain't nothing wrong with that, man. So great answer. So let's move on to our final segment of the show. It's our quick hitter. These are just literally random, kind of fun, short questions here, and you kind of you just react to them. So Bolo, you can start it off with the first one, and then I'll jump in from that, and we'll see where Danny takes us.
Okay.
Here we go. First question here: better tacos, San Diego or LA?
Ooh, because you know, like Los Angeles is a taco town.
It is.
San Diego's more of like a burrito spot. I hate the burritos in LA. I hate them.
All of them? Happy Taco?
Well, no, maybe I like the burritos at Cilantro Lime.
I have not tried that yet. It's on my list.
Yeah, so I do like their burritos, but I'm very picky. Like I don't like rice and beans, my shit. I'm like, why do you guys do that here? I hate it so much. But yeah, wait, sorry. The question is better tacos?
Yes,
yeah, better tacos, San Diego or LA. So probably I'm assuming LA.
Yeah, probably LA.
Okay.
Got you.
I wasn't expecting that. You know, San Diego's her hometown. I've been to San Diego one time just for like a quick, like fun vacation, like a 2-day trip. I can't remember where we had tacos from, but they were delicious. It was somewhere near Gaslamp. It wasn't at Gaslamp, it was near that area.
Maybe Lolita?
Maybe so. It had some really good ass like churros as well at the end.
Okay.
So I don't know, but
any of those two. But yeah, I mean that's like a tough thing. Well, lately my favorite taco spot has been De Cabeza in San Diego.
Got you.
So
Got
if
you.
you were to ask me like what's my favorite taco spot in San Diego, that would be the one.
Got you.
But yeah, I don't know, maybe probably LA, because like, I like the more unique meats, right? Like the head, the ears. I had like palate the other day. I like the unique stuff, the unique parts of the animal, and you can get that easier in LA than in San Diego.
Gotcha.
Love it.
Gotcha.
Love it.
All right, good answer. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So next question. So obviously you're a food blogger, obviously what good food is and what it tastes like. When you're on a date, think about your first date. Where would you want that date to take you as far as your first dining experience?
Oh, that's a great question, because back when I was single, a lot of guys for some reason think I'm super into fine dining, which I think is hilarious, because it's not like I have a job that can just pay for fine dining all the time.
Right.
And it's not like I post a lot of fine dining either. So I don't know where these guys got it in their head, like, let's go to a fancy place. Like one time, this guy that I started dating a few years ago, he lived near me, and I thought like we were just gonna have dinner near where we lived. And then he's like, oh, we're going to Fleming's. And I'm like, Fleming's? Get like food like down the street or something. Like we had to cross the bridge to go to Fleming's in the Bay Area. I was like, okay, I mean, whatever you're paying, so I guess we'll go.
Right. If you paying, we good.
Yeah, I was like, okay. So yeah, but to answer your question, as long as it's good. I mean, you want to take me to fine dining, you better be a good spot, because I know some fine dining spots are like, and I think my most favorite would probably be like a mom and pop shop that I probably never even heard of and has amazing food. That would probably be the best spot.
That's always the best.
That's
yeah,
real.
but also like, not very super picky about anything, but I think the ideal spot would be like a mom and pop I've never heard of, and like it's gonna change my life.
I love it. Like not too much. Like I ain't really with the glitz and glamour, but I'm just with some real good food.
Yeah, just good food. It doesn't have to be like a fancy spot. You know what I mean? It's not like our anniversary dinner.
Look, I'm getting the vibe. Oh, Danny, she's real down to earth. She's just real, just like, let's sit back and kick it. Turn on Law and Order. Let's eat some food. Get some Chinese food.
Law and Order.
Yes. All right, let me jump in. I got a very difficult question for you right here. Out of all the food you've ever tried, you ever eaten, what's the sexiest food you've eaten and why? Think about it.
Ooh, that's funny because I have called food sexy.
Come on now. I knew I wasn't tripping. Now, it could be like the look of the food. It could be how the food has to be eaten. It can there's different ways you could go about it.
Well, I was literally just at Spago yesterday, Wolfgang Puck's restaurant in Beverly Hills. So a lot of that food was sexy. Yeah, I guess the sexiest dish that I had last night were these caviar cannolis. And I was in the kitchen, and chef had the little cannoli thing, and he was like piping the little thing inside, the cream or whatever. And was putting the little caviar on the tips and dipping it in the chives, I think. Yeah, and I was just watching him plate it all nice on the the plate, and he put this little sauce thing, put more caviar on top, and then I thought he was done, and then he put some gold flakes on the caviar cannolis, and I was like,
he put the gold on there? I'm getting hot. It's getting hot in here, Bolo.
Crazy. I'm hungry.
Dang, that sounds amazing. I guess I got to add that to my list as well, man. Man, that sounds amazing. Gold flakes on the food?
Yeah, and it was a very good, very delicious bite.
I love that. That's baller. That's baller. All right, this is my last one before we let you go, Dandy. Top 3 things you can do with food besides eat it.
Wow, this sounds super dirty.
I don't know. Besides eat, I don't know. I don't want to feed you anything, so I'm gonna let you go. I got my answers in my head, but I want to hear what you're gonna say.
Okay, well, you can use them as decoration. Christmas time, I feel like some people put popcorn on the little floss or the string and put it around the tree. And so there's this Filipino superstition where it's like for the new year, you buy 12 round fruits and they all have to be different. And I'm not actually a big fan of fruits. So I'm not gonna eat it. Good luck. And then like a third way.
If you have one, maybe you only have two.
Maybe, I don't know, I'm just like,
that's what makes this question tough.
and then the third one would be, oh wait, you said no eating.
Well, there's something on your mind, so go ahead and say it. If it has to be, hey.
You can put it on yourself.
There it is.
Not to eat it, but you can put it on yourself.
Very true.
There it is. There
Yeah.
it is. There it is. She said, yeah. Nah, that's a good one because I was thinking decoration obviously in the tree. You think about this is more candy, but candy canes go on the Christmas tree.
Candy canes.
You think about Halloween, pumpkins is technically a
Oh
food.
yeah, I forget. You can eat pumpkin.
Pumpkin. So yeah. So that's where my head was at. Danny talking about it sounded dirty. I said, I don't know where you're. I don't know. I said, I'm gonna just be quiet and see what you're thinking about. I was thinking a whole other thing, but all right.
Oh man.
I caught you slipping, Danny.
Halloween, candy canes.
I caught Danny slip. Danny said, you can put it on you. she didn't add any more details. She said you can put it on you and left it at that. I love it.
I feel it.
Yes. Well, Danny, we appreciate you for hopping on the porch. Before you go here, we want to use this time for you to kind of shout out, where people can find you. If people want to start following your pages, drop that right here so our fans can become your fans.
Yes. So you can find me on Instagram. I'm dandy.eats. And I'm also on TikTok, which is just Dandy Eats without the period. And I also have my own website, which is dandyeats.com.
There it is.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping through. Follow us on at the Porch Podcast _ We got Dandy Eats. It's my boy D Nail. And always remember, the best you
is the best you. And we are out. Peace.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated.
Presented by Bet Online.